Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eda. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please do subscribe, like, comment. If you are one of my regulars, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. So today, y'all, I am having a girls talk, and I asked a few of my followers on Instagram to send through some questions or things that they wanted advice on. So I picked just a few of the questions that I felt like, okay, these can be spoken on, and a few that actually make me a little uncomfortable as well, so that it's fair and honest. It's not like 50 million people responded as well, so I literally didn't choose like 5. How do you build self-confidence? I've always been a confident person, so I can't really speak from the perspective of someone that has to still build their confidence. Being confident obviously does not mean that you have zero insecurities, because we're all human. For me personally, I think that the main thing that helped me build confidence is this scar right here. I had the scar my whole life. I got it when I was like 1. I burned when I was a baby with boiling water, and I would get constant comments about it where it's just like, what happened? Oh my god. And people want to touch it and they want to know, like, does it hurt? And it's like, it doesn't mean anything when you're a child, but as you're growing, if it's something that people are constantly asking you about and like grilling into your head that this thing is so imperfect, it makes you a little insecure about it. Not a little, very. I was so insecure about it from young. I think I remember from about 8, because my parents got married around that time, and in the wedding photos and the wedding video, I'm literally like this the whole time. And I do remember that every time my mom would force me to wear sleeveless like shirts and tops and stuff, I would spend the whole day doing this because I just didn't want anyone to ask me those questions. So over time, I learned to just, you know what, I'm gonna have to answer this question all the time, so I might as well just accept that this is a part of me. But I'm a hypocrite because I had to get a tattoo over this to really have like the confidence to rock vests and anything that would show my shoulders. So how to build self-confidence? My answer from a hypocrite point of view is to just, I guess, get over it and accept that there's nothing you or anyone else can do about it. And if there is, change it. If there isn't, let it go and just let that be. No one can do you like you can do you. So that's on period per. So I don't know if that answer is like a good enough answer, but that is my answer, is just get over it. Just build it. Just be confident. Just understand there's no one else in the world like you. No one's ever going to do it like you. And that's on period. That's that. You know, that's honestly the best way that I can answer the question. So just experience and learn to get over it, learn to love it, and learn to make it a part of you. If you can change it, change it. If you cannot, let it go. That's the answer. Does getting a guy's opinion matter? In certain situations, I think yes. Wow, I want to be a feminist and be like, no, men's opinions don't matter at all. But I can't, because sometimes it does. Like, for instance, if I need advice on like, how can I, what do guys like for their birthdays? Because I wouldn't know. I would ask like my boyfriend's little brother, I would ask my brother, I would ask like my dad, or, you know, I don't know. Certain things, getting a guy's opinion does matter, and most things, no. That's it. How do you deal with the fact that your ex moved on really quickly? Ooh. My number one rule, and I think I'm actually gonna make a YouTube video, like a girl's talk, on how to get over your ex and how to get over your breakup. My number one rule is you cannot stay in contact with an ex, especially in the first few months after you guys break up, because the emotions are still heightened. You're still angry, you're still hurt, you're still in love, you're still, you know, there's still a lot that's happening. So the best way for me is to not be in contact with that person. That means a blocka WhatsApp, a blocka Instagram,
blocka على الواتساب، blocka تليفونات، blocka انستغرام، block عفوا block.
Just block that person and do not be a part of their lives, so that they can carry on with their life as they need to, and you can carry on with your healing. Once you're healed and in a good place, it won't matter that your ex moved on really quickly. Oh, so he's your ex, so you have no reason to care anymore. You will still care, but it's your own fault. You're hurting yourself. So remove yourself from that situation. Do not pay attention to what that person's doing. They have to deal with their own demons. You have to deal with yours. Focus on you. Differentiate between confidence and cockiness. I think it's one and the same. I think that the word cockiness was made up by people that had a problem with a confident person. Do I think that you could possibly be too confident? No, I don't. I think that you can be arrogant, and that is annoying. And I don't know if arrogance and cockiness is the same thing, but I think cockiness and confidence is the same. I think that cockiness is just a hater word for confidence. If you're arrogant and you're like annoying and in people's faces about how like great you are, then you're actually not that confident. You just be projecting all that energy, and that's not cute. Don't do that. So how to tell the difference? You don't. Mind your business. I hope that answers your question. Tips on manifestations. It does not help to manifest and still worry. The number one thing when you manifest what you want is to believe that it has already happened. You have said the words, it is now in the universe, and that frequency has to bounce right back at you and come through. Some frequencies bounce back faster than others. Like for instance, if you feel like I'm gonna fall today, you've already put a deadline on that and you're like, I'm gonna fall today. You're gonna fall. Versus you saying, I want a brand new car. You didn't put a deadline on it. You want it still. You're not saying I have a brand new car. You're not like buying a keychain for your car keys. You're not going to look for cars. You know, you have to believe that it has already happened. That is my number one tip on manifesting. Another thing is people think that you just manifest and you sit back and you do nothing. That's also not how it works. In certain situations, you really can just put it in the universe and let it go. But most of the time, you have to actively put actions on that. So if you want your dream job, it also means that you have to apply for that job. They're not just gonna randomly be like, oh my God, Etta wants this job, give it to her. No, Etta has to say, I have a job that pays me no less than 10,000 Rand a month. Etta has to then go look for jobs that pay no less than 10,000 Rand, and Etta has to send through her CV and hope for the best. That's how it works. You have to put action behind your manifestation. So those are my 2 tips. I hope that it helps. How would you tell your mom that you have an STI that wasn't sexually transmitted? Girl, this happened to me in grade 11. Lucky for me, I have a mom that's very like open about certain conversations. I mean, she's not like, let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about sex. All right.
No, she's just like, you know, I tell my mom everything. So mommy, it hurts, or it's itchy, or I think I've got thrush, or I think, you know, this is happening. What does it mean? I also learned, I went to the clinic because I got thrush and I didn't know what it was from, and the lady said, oh, you have an STI, and I was like, no, I don't. I didn't sleep with anyone. I didn't do anything like it. And she's like, no, it's not always. This is from a nurse, you guys. Sexually transmitted like diseases or infections are not always from sex. Anything that has to do with your reproductive system is apparently referred to as STI. So if you can explain that to your mom and let her know that, mommy, I'm coming to speak to you about something. I'm very nervous about speaking to you about this, and I want you to trust me as your child. I did not do anything, but I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do anything to get it, so I don't understand it. Can I please see a nurse or a doctor about it, or can you tell me how to fix it? And maybe your mom will understand and be willing to help you. Natural remedies for period pains. Girl, let me tell you, I don't do pain, so I pop pills. I have no time to sit on no yoni steaming. It's sore. I need a fix, and I need a fix right now. Holler back at me, that might be lit, you know. But I have found that having red tea, which I learned from a friend of mine, Beryl, shout out girl, she, you know, recommended some red tea. I tried red leaf tea, and I tried mixed berries tea by 5 Roses. It's 30 Rand for a box of 20 at Checkers, and they really help. So I have it throughout the month, and by my second period after, you know, starting that, I started to feel lighter periods. Lighter, I don't know how, and when I researched it, it's about antioxidants and whatnot. Please search it. But I think that red tea helped me. It doesn't always help people. It depends on your system and how your periods have you up.
You got me fucked up.
Sorry, mom. Anyway, but I'm on a contraceptive that honestly makes the period pains non-existent, so that also helps. So maybe try a contraceptive. I'm not sure if it's the best idea. Absolutely speak to your doctor about it first, because I do know that certain contraceptives make people gain weight or make their period pains worse or make them like have worse period pains and like a flow and all that. So I think consult your doctor. And yeah, I personally don't think that there's natural remedies for people that experience excruciating pain. I think that that's all a lie, but I could be wrong, and definitely do your research on that. What are some no-nos or off-limit things when it comes to your female friends and your man? Ooh. Firstly, it's very important that you know the people that are around you. So I trust a lot of my female friends, so I don't care. And I trust my man. So obviously things that are like no-brainers, like do not send him nudes, don't ask him to come pick you up in the middle of the night because you're stuck somewhere, don't, all that, that's none of his business. Things that are not his business, don't make it his business. I think that's the best way. But I trust my man and I trust my friends, and that's the best thing you can do, is to surround yourself with people that you trust, so you don't have things that you have to say with your mouth. Oh, please don't send him nudes. Bitch, the fuck? About to get popped. Sorry. Mom, stop watching at this point, I think. So no-nos are things that are not his business. Don't make it his business. And that's all, period. What are some red flags when it comes to female friendships? My number one red flag when it comes to female friendships is if they speak dirty on their other friends to you, they will speak dirty on you to their other friends. Stay away from people that speak dirty about their friends. They're not good friends. Also, don't engage in those conversations, because it will go back to the person you guys are speaking about, and somehow their part of the conversation will disappear and it'll only be about you, and that's not cute. That's what's toxic when it comes to certain females. So red flag number one, mostly the only red flag that I have when it comes to female friendships, is if they speak dirty on their friends, they speak dirty on you. That's not cute. That's toxic. Bye. How do you deal with mama's boys? I don't. I don't know how to answer this. I think it's okay for boys to love their moms. I think moms are spectacular, godly beings that deserve to be loved through and through. I think that if it becomes toxic where a man cannot make decisions on his own and needs his mom for every second thing, I think that's just, for me, I wouldn't engage with people like that, especially in like a relationship with a person like that. But I do think it's okay to like love your mom to the end of this earth. In fact, I would love you more depending on how you love your mom, because that's a very, very special relationship. Like if you're toxic, like you are a 40-year-old man living in your mom's house that refuses to do anything with your life except for, you know, leech off your mom for the rest of your life, then I'm just like, I remove myself from that situation. You can't change people, and it's not your job to change people. You can't control people, and it's not your job to control people. The only person you can change and control is your damn self. So remove yourself from that situation and let that be it. That's my advice, girl. How do you know if you're making the right decisions in life? Ooh. I think everyone is winging it. And I think that once you get that in your head, that everyone is winging it, including the people that look like they have their shit together, you're gonna be more lenient with yourself. Everyone is doing this thing for the first time, so no one is gonna do it perfectly. So you won't know if it's the right or the wrong decision until you either make it or you don't. So live with no regrets. Understand that there's lessons that come from everything, and let that be it. In fact, this morning I was reading something about how we don't know if, I'll actually put the quote here on the screen so you guys can see, because that sat with me, because you don't know if misfortune is going to bring good in the end, or if you don't know if good fortune is going to bring bad in the end. And it's okay to always just be balanced and understand that life comes as it comes. The universe throws at you what it wants to, and there are lessons to be learned in everything, and there's good and bad in everything, and it's necessary, and that's just the way of life, yin and yang, and that's just on period per. I keep saying period. If I say it one more time, I have to give someone $100. I've decided I'm not saying period per. after this. Okay, but make the decision, learn from it after you've already made it, and that's it. There's no one's ever gonna tell you that this is right and this is wrong, because they don't know. You don't know. No one freaking knows. The most someone can do is give you advice based off of their experiences, but their experience is not going to be your experience. So it's okay to still go against that advice even after you've received it. But there's certain things, like if they say to you, don't have a baby at age 15, it's probably because they know it was a struggle to have that baby at age 15. If you do end up having a baby at age 15, this is a very bad example, try your best not to do that, but if you do, you're gonna learn your own things from it. Doesn't mean that you're doomed to hell and you're never gonna be okay again and your life is over. It doesn't always mean that. But people give you advice based off of their own experiences, based off of their own hardships, and based off of their own fortunes. So, you know, no one knows what they're doing. So you will never know whether it's the right or the wrong decision until you make it. And that's it. I almost said it. What is friendship etiquette when you have friends outside of each other? Oh, such a good question. I actually had a friend that was unhappy with me being friends with her friend when she wasn't with us. And that for me is very possessive and toxic and not cute. We're not doing that. You don't own anyone. You know, you don't own anyone, and anyone can be friends with anyone, and that's just it. Like, are we in preschool, guys? You can't play with her if I'm not playing with you guys, okay? No. What in the rubbish? That's no. Don't speak about me when I'm not in the room, especially if it's negative. Don't speak on my business, even if you're trying to protect me. Rather just, you know, keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut and let it be. Let people speak the way they want to speak. Remove yourself from the situation, because what matters to me is how you handled it as my friend. So don't speak on my business and don't speak negative about me with our other friends, and that's it. Other than that, live your best life. I don't own you, you don't own me. We love each other, and it's okay to have friends outside of each other. Advice on shadow work. This has to be a completely different video because that stuff is deep, and I also don't think I've completely done all the shadow work that I could do. I will make a video on how I dealt with shadow work and how it helped me and how it also put me in a dark place for a while. But yeah, let's do a whole video on that. I don't think it's a good place to answer it because it'll be a lengthy answer that needs proper research, because I cannot give answers on certain things, especially when it comes to spirituality and like your soul, without proper knowledge behind it. So I will make another video on that specifically. How do you tell your mother that you want to start shaving, not for sex, but just to feel clean? You tell her just like that. I think the best thing you can do is be honest. A lot of the times we don't give our parents credit, and we think based off of the way they've reacted to certain things in the past that they'll react the same this time. Sometimes that is the case, but allow them to react. Give them the opportunity to be better than they were before, or don't speak to them about it at all. I think speaking to your mom, especially as a girl, about female things is one of the best things you can do. If you have tried and your mom wasn't open about it, ask her before you speak about it. Be like, Mom, I want to talk to you about something that has to do with, you know, femaling things, but I need you to be as subjective. I need you to speak to me as, you know, a young woman and not necessarily just as your child. And that's it. Be open with her, be honest, and hopefully you get the answer that you want. If not, hold off on it or go behind her back and do it, because it is your body. I know my mom's not going to like that answer very much, but when it comes to certain things, you're allowed to make decisions for yourself. And if you want to start shaving and your mom's like, no, there's no real reason why she's saying no besides her own fears. And I think that it's okay for you to save up a good $15 and buy a packet of razors and start shaving. There's YouTube, and YouTube will tell you shave down, shave sideways, don't shave up, shave using this gel and whatnot. So I think speak to her. If you fail, do it anyway if you really want to. There's certain things that are okay, and that's one of the things that I think is okay. If your mom is watching this right now and she hates me, I'm sorry, Ma. What's the right age to have sex? Marriage. No, I'm joking. when you are emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and every other ali capable and balanced, you know, when you have certain things intact, like you're ready for the consequences of having sex, because sex isn't just about the act of it. There are a lot of things, especially for women, there's a lot of things that happen inside your body after you have sex, and that is a big deal. And at a certain age, your hormones are so crazy that you're gonna be mixing that with this sudden change, this puberty and this sex, and all that is gonna make you feel all types of ways. So I would say wait until you are capable in many aspects of your life of dealing with the consequences that come with sex. Not just a baby, not just STIs, but the soul ties that come with it. Oh my God, so much comes with sex. And I think that this is something that they don't speak about enough in school, where sex is not just the act of getting in bed with someone and saying I love you and deciding to do the deed. It is also understanding that your period will change, that you are at risk of having a pregnancy, you are at risk of having an ectopic pregnancy, you are at risk of even like awakening certain things inside you. Like for instance, you didn't have period pains before and you have period pains now that you've had sex. There's a lot of things that happen. And then mentally also you have to deal with yourself after that. If the person you had sex with doesn't feel the same or doesn't feel the love the way that you felt the love, it's gonna take a mental toll on you, and a mental toll on you. Emotionally, it could mess you up as well, because your hormones are trying to understand everything that's happening in your body. Also, you're going to take on that person's emotional traumas as well. And I know a lot of people probably don't believe in that, but it is so real. You are at your most vulnerable. That is your root chakra. I will do a video on chakras as well. If you don't believe in that, that's okay. But there's a lot that comes with sex. So I don't think there's necessarily the right age. And I know that a lot of parents are going to want me to say marriage, but not everyone believes in marriage, and that's not always the right thing for people. So when it feels the most right for you, and when you know that you can deal with the consequences of having sex, then do you, boo. But if I was speaking to my little sister, I would say never. Sorry. But if I'm speaking to my younger siblings and my cousins and my family, I would most likely say wait until you're at least in your 20s. You know, it sounds stupid, it sounds long fetched, is that a word? It sounds, you know, like a lot, but I think that when you're in your 20s, you are more capable of dealing with certain consequences. And if I could, I would even say your 30s, but it's not that deep. So wait until you are capable of dealing with the consequences is the short answer. How do you know if someone is your soulmate? Girl, that's a question for God. I don't know. I think your soul just knows. Like for me, I feel like my sister's my soulmate, and that's just, it feels that way. It feels like if this soul was no longer on earth, my soul would no longer want to be on earth. I think that's it. I think she completes me. She makes everything feel like it's worth it, like it's unconditional. There's nothing in the world that she could do that could make me not love her. She could kill me and I would still love her. And I think that if your love for someone is unconditional, like a mother's love for their child, they are your soulmates. I think moms are their children's soulmates. A lot of the times moms aren't, because certain moms can be super toxic, but my mom and my sister, definitely my soulmates. I think it has to do with unconditional love. How you know? I don't know. I guess we have to find out on the other side, but it just feels right. It just feels like, you know what? No, absolutely. This is it. I don't believe that a soulmate has to be someone you're in love with. I don't think that there's only one soulmate in the world, but I do think that your soulmate is someone that you unconditionally love. There's nothing in the world they could do to make you not love them. That to me sounds like a soulmate. Is it okay to dislike other races?
Miss Jackson.
Yo, I don't know. Who says it's not? Who says it's not? No one's right. I strongly believe in this world, no one is right and no one is wrong. I think that if you dislike other races, that's your business. As long as if you still respect people, I guess it's okay. I love all races, so I don't know. I don't know what the right answer to that question is. If it feels right to you, it's okay. But as long as if there's respect, anything's fine. Do girls really care about how guys smell? Yes. How everyone smells. Dude, there's nothing worse than being absolutely scrumdiddlycious but stinking. Oof. No. It's so lovely to hug someone, and when you like move from them, it smells so good. It's just like, wow, you take care of yourself, you care about the fact that we're gonna hug, and that is special. So yes, it matters how a guy smells. It matters to girls. I don't know if it's all girls, but for me, how you smell is pretty cool. Yeah, I will remember you by your scent, and that's another crazy thing. Your senses and your memory, beautiful. Can exes be friends? Honest answer, no. They will always be, once you cross a friendship line, you can never go back. It doesn't matter how much you guys had a great friendship before. And I speak from experience where I had an amazing friendship with someone for like 7 years, and we dated for 2 months. And after that, we tried to be friends again, and then certain boundaries were crossed by both me and him, where it's like you want to have a conversation with this person because they're your friend, but it'll always end up in a certain place. So the conversation will always go back to how you guys dated, and I think that that's disrespectful for our current relationship. So I had to cut that off, because it's just like, I don't think you can be friends with your exes. There will always be more than the friendship, and I think once you cross that line, you can't go back. And my answer is no. Well, that is the end of the video, you guys. I hope that the answers and the advice is helpful to you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for continuously supporting me. If you are new, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you liked it enough to subscribe. Please do comment anything else that you guys want to know about, or share this, or just send some love. Anyway, I love you guys.